We in here. Yeah. Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen. I say that because there's only one gentleman listening.
Only
and
one.
The rest of you scumbags.
Better keep it pushing, move along.
No, hang out.
Nothing to
It's
see
cool.
here. Oh.
It's cool.
I thought we were going with the whole hating men shtick.
Scumbags welcome.
Only. If you're not a scumbag, what are you doing here? Get gone.
Right. We
Get
have one
gone.
gentleman and mostly other scumbags. No, I love you guys. I just watched the Barbie movie, so I'm...
so you just tell everybody that you love them.
It's
With
live.
the taste of your lips, how alright.
How else am I supposed to manipulate people if I don't tell them that I love them?
You know, that's a good point.
You know?
Maybe I should start telling people I love you more. My manipulation tactics are like lacking.
You gotta update them, babe. All right. Welcome to the That's You podcast. I am your host, Jordan. This is my host, Bree.
Hello,
Hello.
everybody.
We are gonna do the podcasty thing.
Can we dim the lights?
Yeah, we can dim the That's the
For
podcasty
the
thing,
people
is to
who
dim the
can't
lights.
see, we can. And I can see too much. Sorry, it was giving me a little bit of a headache. But anyways, we're back. We're back and we're feeling fierce vibes.
We're feeling fierce. We're giving fierce?
We're serving cunt.
And we're serving it raw. We're
Never that.
We're serving raw cunt.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the podcasty thing and plug all our stuff. You can find our link tree.
10 seconds. Ready and go.
You can find our link tree in all of our bios: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, some other third one.
TikTok.
TikTok. That's a good one. I feel like I'm out of time. Crap. All
It's
right.
okay.
Yeah,
we have
you
a
can-
link tree that's in our Facebook bio.
Yeah, we
That's
have-
You podcast. It takes you everywhere that you need to go.
everywhere you could possibly need.
Everywhere you go. Please, for fuck's sake, use the Google form. I know
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so stupid and lame.
It is lame.
But we're running out of ideas. We want you to carry us. You should be able to carry us by now.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel.
And you'll realize that once you look at the title of this podcast episode.
What's the title gonna be?
Oh, the title is going to be Game of Thrones. Outdated? Question mark. No, probably not.
Never
that.
outdated. Don't talk. It's not done. How could it be outdated
Exactly.
when the series
And the
isn't
fact that
complete?
it's not done yet is exactly why it's outdated.
Why it's outdated.
Yes.
People are sick of waiting. Mr. George R. R. Martin.
Yeah. Frankly, get on that shit. What are you doing? They ruined the show because of you.
They ruined the show. But
They
that's
actually
okay.
ruined the show because of Star Wars. But we'll get into all that.
We can talk about that.
We'll get into all
We can
that.
talk about that mess.
So yeah. Fuck's sake, use Google Forms. You can literally tell us to fuck off in there if you want.
Anonymously.
Anonymously or not.
Or you could, you could
Be
put your-
ballsy.
yeah.
You can leave
Put
a
your name
contact
on
email.
it. Yeah.
We'll email you back.
Send me your address.
Yeah, so Linktree takes you everywhere you need to go. We have YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We have 2 videos, and I think they're hilarious.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
We'll make more.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon.
moms, both
Yep.
of ours.
Shout out to the mums.
Shout out to the moms out there.
Right.
Thank you, Landon, for the sick beat that y'all hear.
For this sick
beat.
Do you have anything you want to plug? Any friends doing anything that people could follow, or
No.
then I'll plug Khalil again.
Yeah,
Khalil
plug
Nazar. He's been giving out a lot of money here lately, so it's
What
kind of
the
a
hell?
come up if you
Okay.
if you do all the nice
Hey,
things. that
Khalil,
he's
give me my fucking reptile light back.
P.S. Khalil.
P.S. Khalil, I'm fucking coming for you.
I think that's all. I
I
think
think that's
we've
all.
plugged away.
Brandon, he's Right Live, but he is also the singer in Breach the Silence. Check him out. Landon wrote our sick beat, but is also the drummer in Breach the Silence, and he also records all of their music needs.
Oh yeah, and
So if you have music needs,
if you want a shout out from us, we are not fickle with these things.
it
We will
literally
shout out
takes
anything.
little to nothing. We shout out our moms every episode. But to be fair, The thing they did for us was not little.
That's right. It was a big deal.
Shout out moms.
Shout out all the moms.
Except for those weird boy moms. Stop acting like you're dating your sons. Somebody can and will replace you. Don't be weird.
Somebody can and will.
Yeah.
We'll find you.
Frank, and we will kill you.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk a little bit about Game of Thrones because
Don't worry, it's only going to be an hour's worth.
I love it. I love Game of Thrones.
And I'm just now watching it, and he loves it so much. So I have questions, and he has answers for literally everything.
That's right.
He has the map imprinted in his brain, basically.
A little bit.
I'm surprised when I asked you, like, if you'd ever get a tattoo, I'm surprised that you didn't say a Game of Thrones tattoo. You said Naruto first.
Yeah. Naruto actually has, like, tattoos in the anime versus Game of Thrones. I mean, the Thens have their, like, scarring tattoos.
Oh,
and
those are horrific, and they're real.
Yeah. And then the tattoos...
Not in the show. I mean, like, you can actually get scarification tattoos.
Right.
Had to clarify for a second.
right. And the tattoos that are also in there are the only ones that I really remember, I guess, are the slave tattoos. So like,
probably don't get those.
Yeah, if you're if you're like a jester, some of the jesters get like motley tattooed on their face.
Tattoo. Oh nope, not that.
Yep, right.
Oh wait. Speaking of jesters.
Oh,
Segue.
Florida
man. All right, so I think you picked one out too, yes?
I did something a little bit different. I want you to go ahead and do yours.
Okay. Okay. All right, so Florida Man for the day.
Mm-hmm.
The headline for Fox 35 Orlando. Florida man with underwear around his neck accused of prowling in the same yard as reported bonsai tree theft.
What?
Florida man
Uh-huh.
with underwear around his neck
Okay.
was accused of prowling in the same area as reported bonsai tree theft.
I feel like they're definitely correlated.
100%.
If you have underwear around your neck, it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You're prowling.
You're prowling.
You're prowling. You're absolutely prowling, and there's no getting around that.
Cape Coral, Florida. A Florida man was arrested after he was caught lurking in a neighborhood with underwear around his neck in the same area where bonsai trees were reportedly stolen 2 weeks ago, according to officers. Troy Dean Stewart, 35, was arrested and charged on one count of loitering and prowling after the incident that unfolded just before 10 p.m. on Thursday in the 2000 block of Everest Parkway in Cape Coral. Police said in the read that as a period. I don't have my glasses on. Police said in the news release. Officers responded to a call from a neighborhood who said a quote-unquote prowler, they love that word,
Yeah, frankly.
was in their back. And first of all, who's calling the police going, somebody's prowling around my neighborhood?
Ma'am, it's probably just a lion. All right.
Ma'am, it's probably just Florida man, okay? He's out and about right now. This is his lurking time. Leave him alone.
His prowling hour.
Was in their backyard near the dock, and they were spotted on the property's surveillance cameras. The man was seen wearing a gray hoodie, black shorts, and a dark mask on his face as he hid behind a chair. The caller said the man came from a neighbor's backyard. The man, identified as Stewart, was located in an empty lot on Everest Parkway. Deputies said he was lying on his stomach between bushes near the seawall.
That's where Stewart went.
That's where Stewart
He
went.
went to get our coffee
Stuart
and
Little.
he ended up...
Oh my God.
He ended
That's
up
why
in
he hasn't
Florida.
been back in so long.
That makes sense.
What? Yeah, because he didn't get his coffee last episode.
It's all coming together.
Fucking Stewart. Oh, yep, and here he is.
That's him.
It's a picture of Stewart.
That's a picture of Stewart.
That
little prowler.
Okay, he was wearing the same outfit the caller described, except the mask on his face was actually revealed to be a dark navy pair of underwear around his neck. Stewart told officers he was wearing underwear around his neck to protect his face from the cold, adding that he was in the area to exercise. He was exercising his freedoms by hiding in a bush.
by hiding in a pair of underwear.
He said he liked the quote-unquote aesthetic of the area and wanted to avoid cars on the road. He told officers he was confronted by two men. He ran away to hid from
Hide.
them. No, it says hid.
I know, but
Yes. Officers spoke to the two men who confronted Stewart, who lived nearby. One of them said he saw a man walking through his backyard, shouted, and approached him. He even removed his hoodie to see who he was. The other man escorted Stewart to the front of the yard, and that's when he ran away, according to officers. Another neighbor told officers that they reported the theft of two bonsai trees on January 6th. These trees are valued at $7,000. Officers said the suspect was seen on surveillance video on January 11th walking toward additional bonsai plants at the same address.
just walking towards
Yeah.
them.
Then fleeing the area as if he was spooked.
A Florida man is always in a natural state of spook.
Oh, yeah, except for when he's violating crocodiles.
Right, apparently.
Yeah, that's what Florida man did today.
All right.
Yeah.
You ready for my Florida man?
Oh, I'm so ready. You said you did something different.
Florida man arrested for trying to ride an alligator while dressed as a pirate. In a bizarre turn of events, a Florida man was taken into custody after attempting to ride an alligator while donning full pirate attire, complete with an eye patch and a parrot on his shoulders. Witnesses report seeing the man identified as Captain Gator swaggering along the bank of a local swamp. Shouting, "Arr, I be the king of the swamp," before making his ill-fated decision. Local authorities received calls about a wild pirate and arrived to find Captain Gator wrestling with an alligator, which seemed less than impressed with its new rider. When officers intervened, the man claimed that he was just trying to take the alligator for a ride to the treasure. After a brief tussle, Captain Gator was escorted away in handcuffs, still insisting that he was the rightful ruler of the swamp and demanded to be set free to continue his search for a buried treasure. The alligator, meanwhile, slithered back into the water, perhaps pondering its life choices. Authorities remind the public that riding alligators is not only illegal but also highly inadvisable, especially for aspiring pirates. Captain Gator is facing charges of disturbing wildlife and public intoxication, which has since become a local legend.
Come on, not Captain Gator.
Not Captain Gate.
Come on.
Let the cap out. Free cap.
Let the cap in like he's supposed to.
Free cap.
He's the king of the swamp.
Demands.
How can you arrest the king of the swamp?
Right. He was in his kingdom. It was absolutely his right to.
He's on his domain.
That's right. He just misplaced his gator. He thought that gator was the one he rode in on, and it wasn't.
He really should put a saddle on that thing.
He's gonna brand it.
Very good.
Brand his gator.
Speaking of brand, segue.
Oh, Shisho, that's the crippled boy.
Yeah. Earlier we were watching an episode, and I said, "Look, I could care less about him. Okay, he's the one character that I don't give a shit about. I don't care about that cripple." And Jordan was like, "You can't say that." I said, No. Just that specific one.
This one.
That specific one. I don't care about his story. Good thing it's over, and now I get to watch the train wreck unfold.
Yes.
We're nearing the part where it all goes south.
What do you mean where it all goes?
Aren't we?
Oh, is that like a clever thing that you're doing on purpose?
No. Please fill me in on how I'm being clever.
Okay, because in the
They're
fifth
going north.
season, in the fifth season, Bran ate in that mother like a owl.
Really?
Yeah, so for you to say it all goes south is technically accurate. There's no beyond the wall in this.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you giving me spoilers
In the fifth,
right now?
No, I'm just telling you they don't focus at all. Like there's no Bran's.
Fucking bet.
Yeah.
I could give a shit less about his little journey to a tree. Oh, also, by the way, guys, if you haven't seen it, which I'm pretty sure I'm the last person on the planet who hasn't watched this shit, there are spoilers in this.
Oh shit, yeah. probably should say that.
Well, I'll put it in the title. I'll put spoilers in the title.
Bree, our beautiful host, is up to season 4, episode 10. Just finished that one.
I'm on. Yes, I'm on season 5, episode 1.
Yeah, that's right. Technically, yes, that's the way.
And it's still paused on the TV right now.
That's right. It may end up watching another episode.
Honestly, frankly, because I kind of want to.
Yeah.
Okay, so here are my questions.
Lay them on me.
So, literally just now we were talking about how, like, Tywin has always hated Tyrion.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to swing it back around to the fact that, what the hell is his name?
Jaime.
Oberyn? The foreign fella?
Yeah. Oberyn Martell, the one who just fought the mountain?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to bring it back to what he said, okay? Because there was a part of it that stuck out to me a little bit, okay? He goes down into the little cellar where Tyrion is unrightfully being held, okay? He's the only person left in the show that I care for.
Right.
All right? He goes down there and he's giving him a little speech, okay? Mm-hmm. And I am not convinced it was supposed to make him feel better.
The story about Cersei?
Yeah. So he then says a whole story about how, they were all bragging. Or not bragging, but they were like, he's a monster, he's got red eyes, he's got a tail, he's got horns and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, and then I get there. And she pulled back at the sheets. And you are just a baby.
Mm-hmm. You're just a baby.
And I could not hide my disappointment. He was just a baby.
Mm-hmm. Son of a monster.
And she says, he killed my mother. And then she take your little cock and she pinch it so hard.
I was afraid she would twist. Just pop it right off, a little twist.
Antonio, show them.
Tyrion.
Yeah. I don't really know what the point of that speech was. But then he goes, I will be your champion. And he swooshes his cloak and he flies away into the sunset. Frankly.
I think he...
Well, here's my question.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
My question is, how much foul shit do you think Cersei did to Tyrion?
Well, if you think about all the foul shit she was doing with her other brother, I imagine it was
I can imagine it was a little bit less sexual, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously Cersei has always hated Tyrion, but for, a lot of the time that I guess they sorry, I'm trying to piece the timeline all together.
Right.
They were Jaime and Cersei are like at least 8 years older than Tyrion.
Yeah.
Right.
So she was 8 when she was doing that.
Right.
She was 8 when she was like trying to rip his wiener off.
Right. And then shortly after that, because the reason that that Tywin is now at Casterly Rock with all of his children, because he took either Jaime or Cersei with him when he was the Hand of the King to the Mad King Aerys. I
thought that he had just said that it was Jaime.
Yeah, he took Jaime.
Right, and not Cersei.
And not Cersei. It was one or the other. I think you're right, but it also might have been Cersei. Yeah, and he left Cersei at home.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just said that.
So when that happened, Jaime was like, he was still young. He wasn't old enough to be like a knight of the
right.
King's
a knight
Guard.
of the knights.
A knight of knights. So by the time that Tyrion was like 5 or 6, Cersei had already like married Robert.
Right.
She was pretty young when she married Robert, and
I am the god of tits and wine.
And Tyrion was the god, and Tyrion just spent all his time in Casterly Rock with his uncles.
I still have never seen this place. Do you get to see it?
Yes, actually you do.
Okay.
I forgot. Not for very long, but you do.
Okay.
You don't see it in the books. They have not been there at all in the books.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they just kind of make it up?
What do you mean? I can tell you about it. I can tell you about Casterly Rock.
No, but they just kind of make up what it looks like?
No, it's described in the
Okay,
books.
okay.
It's described. So like Casterly Rock is actually like on the mountain. Like it's a part of the mountain.
That's
it's
what
built,
I figure. It's called rock.
Right. It's built into the mountain, like the like all the tunnels and that kind of thing. And they're like their castle is connected to the mine, the gold mine.
Right. And
as
the
well.
hip bone is connected to the knee bone. Sorry.
That was good. That was good. Feed the chicken.
Oh, feed the chicken. Oh, feed the chicken. Yes.
That was good.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait till we can get video because the feed the chicken shit is so
Oh, I
funny.
love
I
Feed the Chicken.
cackled.
I love Feed the Chicken.
Yeah. The snake, which you do not trust. I laugh about that forever.
It's good.
Yes.
You have another question? Loaded?
Well, so my first question was how much foul shit do you think she did to Tyrion?
Tyrion actually did some fucked up shit to Cersei as well.
Really?
I
Like
mean,
what?
you know, it was a sibling rivalry. They like apparently. You remember when he's on trial in the Vale? He's like, I jerked off my dick into a pot of turtle stew, which I think my sister ate. Yeah. I forgot about that. No.
That's probably why Bronn was like, hell yeah, I'll fight for you, guy.
Yeah, right.
I'll fucking fight for you. That's
fe-
that's some crazy shit.
You're
Also,
so funny.
do we never see him again?
Braun?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see Braun again.
Okay, cool. I
Yeah.
like him.
Yeah.
So here's my list.
Okay.
I like Tyrion. I like Bronn. I like Padre. What's his name? I'm sorry, I can't do it. What is it?
Podrick.
Peterson. Podrick.
Did you say Brienne already?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Brienne. It's not in any particular order.
Oh, I thought you were doing them in order.
No.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, let me do it in order then.
Because you said Tyrion first. So.
Yeah. That's just because I love him the most. He'll go at the top of the list no matter what order I'm doing the list in. Unless it's worst to best. It goes Tyrion. Still Bronn.
Braun. Yeah, that's a good one.
Brienne. Padre.
The Padres.
And then... I really
And that's it.
I really think
and that's all. Fuck everybody else.
Seriously, they killed off all the characters I liked, so I stopped getting attached to any of
What
them.
about Jon Snow?
I could care less about Jon
You don't
Snow.
like Jon Snow?
Well, let me rephrase. I couldn't care less about Jon Snow.
What about Stannis? Stannis the Manus.
I don't like him.
The king who cared.
I don't like him.
He came and
He's-
saved the Night's Watch from the wildlings.
I mean, but
He's the king who cares. Everybody else was like, fuck y'all. Deal with your own shit. We're
yeah,
trying to
because
run
they're
a
the
kingdom
Night's
down
Watch.
here.
They're supposed to be protecting the wall. If you can't protect the wall, what are you there for?
Against 100,000 people at once and giants and mammoths.
You should do better. Do better.
They only have 100 men. They can only supply themselves with what the realm gives them.
Exactly. The realm needs to do better. If you want people to protect your wall, give them the people
Well,
to
who's the
protect their
protector
wall.
of the realm? Stannis the Manus.
No, he's not. I really don't like him.
He is the one
he's
true
got
king.
He's got a weird ego about him, but it's not even really an ego.
He has
It's
a
like-
weird beard.
He does. Well, he doesn't have a beard.
It's like a fucking
You just
MGK line.
convinced me. You just convinced me.
You just
that
want to hate
he had
him.
a beard for a
You want
second.
to hate him so bad.
I do like his fingerless friend.
Davos.
Yeah,
Davos
I
is
do like
awesome.
him.
Davos is cool.
Oh wait, I like Daenerys, but she is doing
Daenerys.
pretty bad right now.
She's not a good ruler.
No, she's not.
She's dropping the ball there.
She really is.
Yonkai is back in control of the Masters. She
Yeah.
bounced before she could establish. So
And I was a little bit right. I just want to put that out there.
Go
I
ahead.
said that she was going to send her trusted 3 people to
Mm-hmm.
go take back the cities. And she did already send one of them. But then one of them got caught being a betrayer.
yeah, Jorah.
Yeah.
Jorah the Ando.
I did like him, but I'm not attached to him. I
Yeah.
forgot that he was gone for a second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He sold her. He sold her secrets.
Yeah, he did. But to be fair, in his defense,
Mm-hmm.
it was literally he sold a couple of things
Mm-hmm.
right when they first met, And he also fixed it. He stopped her from being poisoned.
Yeah.
And then he's been by her side ever since and hasn't done anything wrong since.
Yeah.
So I think she was wrong to send him away. I think she was.
I don't know. He didn't just put her life in danger, though.
Yeah, her baby died anyway.
Yeah, he put her baby's life in danger.
Sure, but her baby died anyway. And it wasn't because of him.
And it wasn't because of him, but, like, he still did that.
Sure, he did.
And he did it to kill her baby. Which he was like, she's pregnant now. And they were like, okay, well, we can't let this go on any further.
I do get that. But also, you have to think, like, he's been by her. This happened within the span of 3 years.
Something like that,
It wasn't even a whole year that he was doing that.
Right.
It was, what, maybe a month?
I mean, he went into her service as a traitor, as a spy.
Sure.
From Jump Street.
Right, but then he realized that he was wrong to do so.
Yeah, he did. But it was just kind of like too little too late at the time.
I guess so.
Also, and this isn't in the show, in the book, when Daenerys goes into the Warlock's tower and she's tripping real hard.
Yeah.
She like sees Khal Drogo with her baby and shit.
Yeah.
In that scene, in the book, she has taken. That's how all the warlocks have like blue lips.
Yeah.
Blue. So she actually does that drug, and trips real hard in their tower, and she has a vision that she's gonna suffer 3 great betrayals: one for blood, one for money, and one for love.
Okay.
So she's
do we know who those are, or does that book
that's just what they said. There's no
elaboration.
It's not like as
yet.
someone's betraying her, they're like, this is for love.
No, right, but
so she's kind of wary of everybody
okay
at that point because she knows she's going to be betrayed. She doesn't know by who, she just knows why she's going to be betrayed. And when she looks at and when that comes out about Jorah, she's like, oh, he betrayed me for, money or something like that. This is supposed to be one of these great betrayals that she experiences.
I don't think so.
But it's right. But me neither, because,
it wasn't a great betrayal. Nothing happened. Nothing came of it.
And it wasn't for money, and it wasn't for blood, and it wasn't for love either.
Right.
If anything, love was the reason that he didn't betray her.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she's doing bad.
She's not doing a great job ruling, but she's got no experience doing it.
Sure, but
she was a Khaleesi, and like at that level, it's like you
just sit there.
You're not even like a ruler. You're just you're like the ruler's wife.
Exactly. Yeah. So sad that they killed off Jason Momoa so early.
Yeah.
I love that man.
Yeah, they'll kill anybody.
And you told me that the only reason she felt comfortable on set was because of Jason Momoa or something like that.
Because she was a brand new actress, like not really familiar with the things that were going on around her.
Right.
And Jason Momoa was like, hey, like, she's fucking shivering right now, and we're out here in the middle of the desert in the middle of the night. It's cold as fuck, and we get her, like, some warm clothes or something,
right?
Because she wouldn't speak up for herself at that time. She was just so overwhelmed with everything.
I can imagine. There's like everything's happening. She's naked.
Right.
The person playing her brother is caressing her boobies.
Right.
Oh my gosh! And like, I didn't even know if I wanted to continue watching after that scene. It's so weird. I'm so glad that he died. What was his name?
Varys.
So glad he died.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he's gone, and it was a good death too.
He was also the rightful king.
Shut the fuck up. Every time that a person that I'm going to hate walks on the screen, he goes, and here comes the hero of our story. The hero of our
story. I didn't do it every single time.
Yes. And then you stopped doing it because I was like, okay, well then I hate this person.
I said it about Brienne. And then you did it
to Brienne. Yes. Yeah. But that's when you switched up. You did it to Brienne, and I was like, oh, great.
Little curveball for you.
Yeah. And now you do it every time somebody walks on screen. You're like, a new person gets introduced, and you're like, the hero of our story.
It's like a minor side character.
Yeah, literally. So I'm like, what are you doing? There was a point in time where you thought I was watching without you or something, because I just kept guessing everything.
Yeah. It was Theon, yeah.
Greyjoy.
Yeah.
Fuck that stupid motherfucker. Oh my
'cause
god.
You were like, I just want to cut his cock off. I hope they cut his cock
Well,
off.
first of all, I said dick. I don't say that word.
Oh, right.
Right.
My fault.
It's just a weird word. I don't say it.
Yeah, they say it a lot in the show.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
And they always make it super creepy when they do it. Mm-hmm. You know?
Cock.
Yeah.
Put a lot
Mickey
of emphasis
Mouse.
on the K's or the sounds.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's like how Tyrion says everything. Mm-hmm. His accent is so bad.
I know you feel that way, but he won an Emmy for it. It's
For
hard
his
to.
accent?
I mean, for being Tyrion.
Oh yeah, because he plays Tyrion great.
Yeah.
But his accent is terrible.
If it was so terrible, then people would not like. They would be like, he's playing the character bad.
No, that's not correct.
I don't know. I think if
I don't
he was
agree.
talking like this, then people would be like, no Emmy. No Emmy for you, sir.
Well, that's because nobody else in the fucking show talks like that. Nobody else in the fucking show talks like Tyrion. Everybody in his family has a different accent.
Tyrion is the only. You're right. The Lannisters didn't do a very good job with that. But the
They should have had a
Starks,
vocal coach or something like that.
the Starks all followed the accent that Sean Bean, who played Eddard Stark, they all followed that accent. You know,
And that's
obviously
what they
not
should have done with
right.
the Lannisters.
Right.
Yeah.
But everybody in that show, except for Jamie, whose name is escaping me right now. I think it's like Nikolai something
Good
Costa.
name.
Yeah, he's Hungarian, but
Really?
but I think everybody else is
just a
from
little
the UK. He's a little hungry guy.
He's a little hungry.
Little hungry fella. He's hungry for his sister's Jane.
Ew.
He loves his sister.
No.
He's so yummy.
Why did she? Well, oh my gosh! You know what I just realized? She told her dad that she's been incesty with her brother.
Yep.
And then Tyrion fucking killed him.
Yep.
Oh my god!
Yep. He'll never have to. He won't have to live with it.
He
did
He got
Tyr-
killed on the shitter.
Tyrion did Tywin a favor.
Frankly.
Yeah. Yep. And in the book, all the time, people are like, "Oh, Tywin Lannister, he shits gold. Tywin Lannister shits gold because he's got so much money." But like in
In
Tyrion's
reality,
POV,
they're broke.
not in the show. Oh no, sorry, not in the book.
Oh, really?
Not in the book.
So
that's
they're
that's
not,
a show only thing.
Why?
Because they don't know what they're doing in
I mean,
the
that's
show.
fair.
They are bad at it.
But also, I feel like you think the show is bad because you've read the books.
No, not really.
Elaborate.
I think that the show is bad because the dialogue is bad. The dialogue becomes boo boo. You remember
Have
the
I
first
reached
season?
a point where it's boo boo?
It's starting to.
I
It's-
want you to not tell me.
Okay, I won't.
So that way
I
I
wasn't
can-
planning on it. Toot on the pod. Gotta toot on the pod at least once. Toot on the pod.
Oh, it's been 3 times. You just didn't notice.
Oh, I
Yeah.
noticed your facial expression. I thought you were thinking real hard.
That is what I was doing. Thinking real hard
Thinking
about
real
my
hard about a
fart.
fart. Yeah.
So I don't want you to tell me when it like stops being book content.
I won't have. Oh, when it stops being book contact.
So that
I
way-
want you to know.
But I feel like I will start to not like it because I know that it's gonna get bad. But I want to make my own decision on whether I think it's bad or not.
I won't tell you when they're done with the books anymore. You do know about Sansa and you know about Bran.
Yeah.
Now,
But I feel like
the thing is
I'm
that
gonna
they
think that this whole next couple episodes is not book material because you told me that that's where their stories end.
they give different roles to the characters. Like Sansa's show counterpart is experiencing a different character's story.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
And they could have made that great though. They could have done great with that. Because it could
These
be
are
like alternate endings to things.
the character that she envelops is a side character that is not that
I fucking hate that bitch. You're like, she's just a child.
she is just a child. You can't be
Okay,
hating
so
on
is
her.
Arya, and she's out here living her best life, not harming nobody except the people that
If-
she wants to.
Here's the thing: if Arya was in Sansa's position, she'd be dead. If Sansa was in Arya's position when Eddard gets his head chopped off, she would be dead. Like, they are both just like in, I mean, not really, but they're in the perfect scenario for both of their characters to survive.
Sure.
Arya could never survive being in court, like being like going through what Sansa had to go through. She would be like, "Fuck y'all, I'll kill all y'all bitches." Right, but then she would end up dead.
Yeah.
And Sansa's too hoity-toity, could never like
the way we're going now. I expect the Starks to be killed off by the end of the season. All
this
the Starks.
season, the 5th season.
All the Starks. I expect them to be dead.
Yeah. I mean, they're dropping like flies, you know.
And I feel like that's the only people that are dying is the Starks.
Tywin just died.
Oh yeah.
Tywin is the head of the Lannister family.
I mean, honestly, he wasn't long for this world anyway.
I mean, he's kind of old guy, but you know, he was still the main power in King's Landing, and now that that whole structure is shaken.
And honestly, the only reason I didn't like him is because of how fucking mean he is to Tyrion.
Oh yeah, he's a great character. I love Charles Dance did a great job.
Yeah, he did.
With
is that
Tywin.
His real accent? Does he actually talk like that?
They are all British except for Tyrion and Jaime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Why didn't he just be like, "Hey guys, you want to teach me how to do an accent like that?"
I don't hate his accent as much as you do.
I really do.
I know.
He does that same accent in Wicked. And that is the only reason that I knew that Peter Dinklage was the GOAT.
Peter Dinklage is the GOAT.
He is the GOAT. Yeah. But he does that same accent, like, and at this point, I've already told you, I'm not gonna look up what he actually sounds like. I didn't pay attention to him when he was an elf because I don't really care for that movie.
He still has a deep voice.
It's not the pitch of his voice. It's
right.
That he talks like this.
He doesn't.
He's like, "Hello, father."
He talks like this a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he like enunciates too much, I think.
He does enunciate really hard.
Oh my gosh.
But he's like a high class.
But nobody else in his family talks like that. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for him to talk that high class.
Tywin talks like that.
He really doesn't, though. Mm-hmm. He really doesn't.
He doesn't like. He enunciates.
No, not the way that Tyrion does.
Not as hard. You're right, but he does enunciate.
Yeah. Yes, because that's like the normal accent, I feel like. Like I was talking to those two English folks that came into...
Whoa. Blokes.
Okay. They're screaming right now. I hope they're not listening. I was talking to them, and I was like, "Do you get people coming up to you saying bottle of water a lot?" And he was like, "What you mean?" And I was like, the joke. I didn't want to do it at him because the other girl that I work with was doing it too. She was trash. Mm-hmm. She was like doing it to them all night. Right. So I didn't want to like do it at him. But he was like, "What you mean?" I was like, the joke. He's like, "No." I'm like, "You got a bottle of water in it." And he was like, "Yeah. We don't say water like that."
Yes, you do.
I was like, "Well, yeah, I know that, but do you get that joke?" He was like, "Yeah, stupid." I was like, "Yeah,
stupid, isn't it?"
And he was like,
he's taking all the piss out of the joke.
I know, right? He's like, "Oh, that she came over," and he's like, "You just won't quit taking the piss." Mm-hmm. And she was like, "What?" And like looked down at herself, and I'm like, You're
you checked.
You're taking the piss? You're picking on him? Mm-hmm. I'm not picking on him. Yeah, you are. Nah. Yes, huh? And then she immediately goes back to, "Can you say cunt?" Yeah, but like, they were all like, he every time he asked for something, he would do it in our accent because he was scared I wouldn't know what he was talking about. And he kept saying, "Can I please have some ranch?"
Ranch.
And I was like, why do you keep saying it like that? He's like, because last place that we went, the fucking waitress didn't know what I said when I said ranch. I was like, it sounds practically the same.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Ranch.
it was like, every time I had to say it, I had to say ranch.
It's the switch up. That's what it is.
Go
It's
from
so
really
good.
thick accent to ranch.
Ranch. That's how you say ranch.
Yeah.
We say ranch.
He was like, you say it then. Go on, you say it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ranch? He's like, see, same thing.
Same thing.
Ranch.
Ranch.
I feel like that's like the epitome of Peter Dinklage. It's like those two guys saying ranch at me, except he's saying it in an accent, in an English accent.
I genuinely feel like you're like one of the only people that
Take a poll. Let's take a poll.
are salty about his accent. I feel like it would have been. I mean, it's been out for so long. People would have been like, "Oh my god, Peter Dinklage's accent is such garbage." Plus, now he's in Wicked. Like, there's the other another opportunity.
Bad is happening in Oz. Like, I can't even replicate the accent that he does. Like, I can't even tell you how he says it. It's
Sounds like a hater to me.
No, I love Peter Dinklage and I love Tyrion so much.
You know?
I love his character. He's my favorite by far.
Yeah, for sure.
And I kept telling you that if they kill him off or if they don't show him anymore, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not watching it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have any favorite characters left, really.
He's definitely a bigger villain in the book because, like, he's like,
I feel like I'd still like him.
oh, he's like vile. Like, he's like, when he's like, oh, they fucking hate me living, they'll fucking fear me, they'll fear me dead,
But can you blame him, though?
No, I guess not. But he's also like, just real quick,
Go ahead.
So he's like, when I come back to King's Landing, I'll come back with an army with fire and this, that, and the other. And when I take the castle, I want to rape my sister. Yeah. Not a good guy.
I feel like what's the author's name?
George R. R. Martin.
I feel like he has a stepsister kink.
It's all there is.
It's really all there is. I mean, to be fair, what's left to do to Cersei?
Oh, you could like
What's left
give
to do
her
to
to the people of King's Landing, like the people that live in like
I
Flea
feel
Bottom.
like even that wouldn't be torture to her.
Yeah, they
No,
would.
she just watched her son die.
They would. Oh, yeah, but she still wants to live. She's a narcissist.
I mean, I only know the movies or the show Cersei.
Yeah, but even the show Cersei is a narcissist.
She's not really though. She's quite
She
honest.
sleeps with her twin.
She's quite honest about it.
Yeah.
She's just a bad person. I don't think she's a narcissist. You can be a bad person and not a narcissist.
She sleeps with her twin
That
because
doesn't make
he
her a
looks
narcissist.
like
That
her.
makes her an incest lover.
She wants to fuck herself. That's why she's fucking her twin.
Name me one time that is a thing.
That is what it is.
How do you know that?
She sleeps with Lancel because he looks like Jaime, who looks like her.
But this is just your theory. That's not.
That's in the book.
It says that she fucks her brother because she wants to fuck herself. Give me the
context.
Yes,
The
please.
context. I guess it's not said like that, but
I want to know why you think that.
I couldn't tell you who said it or like what the context is, but like that is what it is. Like, she is a narcissist and wants to, she wants to be a man mostly.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because she was born first out of the twins, but she's like, oh, when I was separated from Jaime when they were so young, Jaime was given a sword and I was given a sewing needle and a dress and taught how to act and that kind of thing.
Look, I don't know why these women are fucking complaining right now. What the fuck?
Yeah, all she had to do was live in a castle and marry the king. The king was a piece of shit, though.
Sure, but she didn't have to like him.
That's true. She also didn't have to fuck her brother.
Yeah,
It really kind
exactly.
of threw everybody for a loop. But like, I mean, Robert. I mean, I love Robert, but Robert was a real piece of
Yeah.
shit too. You know, and once he lost
Yeah, just think
his
of it.
love, you know, in
Right.
Liana,
I mean, why are you putting that in quotes though?
because he was always a fucking whore. Like he
Yeah.
was always a whoremonger when he was, you know, when he was betrothed to Liana, he was still, you know, fucking whores. He already had a bastard daughter
Really?
when he was betrothed to Liana, and yeah, she's in the book a little bit more. The bastard daughter. She actually takes Catelyn Stark up to the Eyrie when she first meets her sister in the book and in the show.
So do you think that he's using the death of her just to be a shit more than he already is?
I think more than anything, I think Robert was like, I want to marry Lyanna because I'll then be, you know, Ned Stark's brother, and I'll be able to be like, you know, like, because everybody wants to be a Stark, except when it comes time to do Stark shit like dying.
Yeah,
You know?
frankly, because that's all they're doing right
That's all
now.
they fucking
They're
do.
dying and acting stupid.
Stupid.
Oh my god, can we talk about freaking I feel like the only Stark, well, I mean, I guess there's only 3 of them, huh?
There's 4 that are alive right now.
No, I mean, there's only 3 Stark deaths.
There have been 3 Stark deaths. If you include Catelyn Tully, who's married to Ned Stark, who's technically a Stark, I guess, then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, there's been many deaths in this show.
Mm-hmm.
And the one I keep coming back to is when they fucking put the wolf's head on Rob's body and, like, paraded
that's
him
gruesome.
around.
Yeah.
That's really gruesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just because they drag it out so long.
Yeah.
Like, and I could, like, that whole episode, I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I kept telling you, I was like,
It's a hard watch.
yeah. And then that guy who was supposed to be helping Rob,
Roose Bolton.
yeah, when he's, like, talking to,
Walder
Catelyn.
Frey. Oh, okay, yeah.
when he's talking to Catelyn, and, like, I wasn't really paying attention. I was, like, telling you, I was like, this is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was just yelling at you. I was like, this ain't good. Something bad about to go down. And then I turn and look, and she's, like, pulling up his sleeve, and he's got chainmail on.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck. I told you. I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. And then they, like, shoot Rob a whole bunch of times. But it's
Yeah.
it's the fact that, like, for a second before they start playing the music, it just gets completely silent.
Yeah.
And I love tactics like that in, like, movies and shows and stuff, like the Dutch tilt to make you uncomfortable. And, like, you know, people are like, scary movies are only scary because of the background music. I disagree. I feel like when they put moments of silence like that in a scary movie, it makes
Yeah.
it so much more eerie and unsettling.
Yeah.
So when it was just Rob and he turned and he looked at his mom and he was like,
Mother.
yeah, he was like, mother. And then it was completely silent for a second. And then they start playing the music and they shoot him a whole bunch of times. I was like, damn dog. And then, like,
At the end of the episode, when they're rolling the credits, it's just complete silence
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
yeah, that was a good choice.
Yeah.
That they did really good on that episode.
Yeah.
I was left very unsettled after that episode.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's the most culturally impactful episode
Yeah,
of Game of
100%.
Thrones. Like when people like recommend Game of Thrones to other people, they're like, wait till you get to this part. You know,
Right.
that's the part that they're most anxious for their, you know, friends and family to see is like, oh my God,
Yeah,
like everything's
they
come
did-
together and yeah.
They did really good on that episode.
Yeah.
And, like, when Arya, like, is sneaking around and, like, she gets a glimpse of
Right.
him with the wolf head on, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh man.
Yeah. The one
then-
person you don't want to see.
Right. And then the hound, like, knocks her out.
Yeah, right.
And, like, I didn't care for the hound, you know, but
Mm-hmm.
I also felt like he wasn't a good person and he wasn't a bad person.
Right.
You know, he was
Morally
just
gray.
He just knew. He just knew what he had to do.
Yeah.
He was just doing what he had to do to survive, really.
Right.
And I don't think anything that he did for Arya, from the point that they, like, linked up till his death, I don't think anything that he did was, like, not in the best interest of her.
Of Arya,
Whatever he tried to say, he was just trying to get the money. Whatever he tried to say,
Right.
He was trying to protect her.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like it was pretty clear that that's what he was doing. He was a fucking asshole to her, but that's because that's who he is. You know?
He wasn't, like, sparing her, you know, any kind of, like, thing that she might experience outside of the Hound. Like, the Hound kept it real with her.
Yeah, that's it. He just kept it real.
Yeah.
But that was, like, the moment that I knew. I was like, man, this guy does have, like, at least a little bit of a heart.
Yeah.
Because he knocked her out so she wouldn't have to see her brother being paraded around.
Yeah.
Like that, like his dead body being paraded around.
Yeah.
And then Joffrey, R.I.P. the fucking king.
Yeah. The rightful king.
Right. The hero of our story, if you will. Then Joffrey, like, no matter how much I hate Sansa, like, he just kept being like, I wonder if they will send me his body so I can serve it to her on a platter
Rob's
at my
head.
wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, stuff like that. Like, and, you know, you kept saying, like, oh, it gets so much worse. It gets so much worse. It really didn't.
Then the head?
No.
The
like,
recommendation of the
like,
head?
when I was on season 2, I was like, I fucking hate Joffrey.
Oh, and he was, like, beating her?
Yeah, and you were like, oh, it gets so much worse. It really doesn't.
Mm.
It really doesn't, because he wasn't really in control of her anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, he already made her look at her father's dead head.
He did threaten to, like, rape her.
Yeah, he did do that, but he didn't rape her, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he would
have.
He would have. For sure would have.
But he didn't, though. He could have.
Yeah.
He very well could have.
Yeah.
He literally said he was going to wait for Tyrion to pass out and then station guards.
Right.
At the door. Like,
right.
He said he was going to do that. He could have done it, but he didn't.
Yeah.
And I think that had to do something. What's her name? Miriam?
Well,
Muriel?
Tyrion threatened to cut his dick off.
He
that
did
same
do that,
night,
but I think it had something to do with what the fuck is her name? Margarine?
Marjorie. Yeah. Margarine Padre.
I think it had something to do with her.
Oh yeah, she was definitely
100%.
a positive influence on Joffrey as much as anybody could positively influence Joffrey.
I like her.
Me too.
Yeah, she played that role very well.
And then Littlefinger, before Ned had died,
Fuck that man. Fucking fuck that guy.
he helped kill Joffrey.
I don't give a fuck. He's creepy and weird.
Yeah. In the book, it's not like that.
Well, all I know is the show version of them.
Right. In the book, Joffrey.
Remember when I said I liked Littlefinger?
Right. Right. When you said that, I was like, cool.
It was like season 1.
Yeah. Yeah, but you also like Theon in season 1 too.
Yeah.
So
Fuck
I mean,
both of 'em.
isn't that kind of beautiful? Like how the show can do that to you, like can make you like somebody and then hate them, or even like with the Hound where you were like, oh fuck that guy.
No,
like,
I was never like fuck that guy.
oh, you never just liked the Hound?
I
Okay.
honestly didn't remember that he's the one that killed the butcher's boy. Like genuinely, I forgot about that whole scenario. Forgot about that whole
so
situation.
much had happened, you know.
Right.
Who gives a fuck about the butcher's boy when Ned Stark just got his head cut
Well,
off?
it's not even that. It's the fact that like so many people are dying.
Right.
And like he literally was just doing what he had to do.
Right.
He was ordered to do
told
that,
to,
so he needed to do it or else, you know.
Right.
So I never
Lose
had
his
any
position.
Yeah, I literally I was indifferent to him.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was just there, you know.
His brother's a piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, pushing his head into the fire and shit.
Right. Well, the mountain is even he you know, you don't see the mountain because you never have any POV characters that are like closely associated with the mountain.
Right.
But he like goes around and like, you know, is raping people and that kind of thing, and like putting villages to the torch and
honestly, I'm really glad that they don't show any of that, you know.
yeah, it's just
like
gratuitous.
you can I feel like sometimes there are, you know, rape scenes that are constructive to the storyline, and most times they're not. Like, most times people throw them in movies for shock factor, and I don't like that.
Right.
I don't fucking like it. I don't think it's needed. I don't, like, there's no point to it. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
It's literally, if you're using an event that, like, actually happens all the time as for shock value, I think you're a piece of shit.
Well, murder happens all the time.
Yeah,
and they use that for shock
100%.
value.
But I feel like there are different forms of trauma. Murder is murder. And, like, you know, it's horrifying, terrible, awful, gross. But then rape fucks you up in a different kind of way.
Right, because you, like, live with the experience.
And you also have to deal with the no one believing you. You could get in trouble. There was a rape that happened. I was just watching a video about it today. And I don't know many of the details, but what I do know is the private investigators had this woman's daughter. She's a 32-year-old woman. She went to report a rape. They have the guy also in custody. And they call the mom and they're like, "Hey, could you pick us up the biggest box of crayons that you could possibly buy?" She's like, "Sure." And she's thinking to herself, she's like, you know, weird, but if this will help me get my daughter back sooner, then whatever. She goes, she brings them the crayons, and they look this woman dead in her eyes and say, "Draw it then." She's like, "What?" And the investigators tell this woman, if you were actually raped by this man, you should be able to draw with perfect detail his dick. We want exact size, exact color. We want length, girth, everything to be the same. And maybe we'll look into it more. If you can do that, then maybe we'll look into it more. But if you can't, then sorry about your ducks. They wanted this woman to draw his fucking dick. Otherwise, they didn't believe her. And that actually happened.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like, that gives a different... If you're just using rape as a shock factor thing, I think you're just... You need to pick a different career.
Lazy writing.
Exactly. You need to pick a different career because...
There's that near rape of Sansa.
Right. But also, I think that was character building.
That was constructive to the story. Right. You get to see
the Hound saves her.
Yeah.
So you get to see that he's not actually a piece of shit. He's not going to let that happen to her.
Right. I mean, it was Toot on the pod.
Sorry.
It was in the Lannister's best interest to have her safe and, you know, unharmed.
Right, but
for the purpose of marrying her off.
Any of the other guards would have just let it happen.
And they did. And it's more Meryn Trant, Tyrion's like, go back out there and get him. And,
right.
And in the book, it's not Meryn. I think it's Sir Balon Swan, who was the one that tried to kill him in the Blackwater.
Right.
Who they were like, hey, you know, go out there and save Sansa. He's like, I'm in my white cloak. I feel like that'll make the mob even more mad. You know, he's being a pussy. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Take off your cloak then, you know.
Right.
He's like, oh, you can't take off your cloak. I'm a man of the of the Kingsguard. And Cersei goes and is like, you listen to my fucking brother. He's the hand of the king. Go out there and fucking find Sansa. And while they're like both berating this man, the Hound comes up. You don't see, there's no like near rape scene like that, because you only have the point of view from Tyrion of during the mob. But
I
yeah,
think
then
if they would have actually,
comes through.
I think if in the book she did get raped and they would have actually shown it, I think that would have been in bad taste.
Yeah, I mean there were other people that did happen too.
Right.
But you don't hear about it in the show because it's not really like, it doesn't really move the story forward. Because
and I think that was a good decision.
Yeah. And then in the books, that girl that Bronn is marrying, Lawless Stokeworth, she was raped and impregnated during that, which is why they marry her to Bronn, because he's just a sellsword.
Right.
You know, like, who the fuck cares? We got it. We want them on our side, and this way we can probably get them on our side.
Right. Yeah.
But she's also not. It's not like that in the show. You do get to meet Lala Stokeworth. She's pretty dumb.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Another dumb bimbo. What we all need.
Another dumb bitch. That's what this show needs. Yeah. R.I.P. Ygritte. Did you fuck with Ygritte?
She was all right. I just picked on her because she says Jon Snow.
Jon Snow.
Jon Snow.
Yeah. They're married in real life. Kit Harington and
Really?
Rose
I love
Leslie.
that for them.
Yep.
I want to ask him.
Married with children.
I want to ask him how it was to watch his wife die on screen.
I'm not sure they were married at the time, but they were for sure.
Maybe that's
dating.
what brought them together.
I think. I mean, obviously they met on the show. It was the show that brought them together.
Right.
Are we running low?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Very. All right. Well.
We didn't really get to talk about Game of Thrones very much.
Yeah, we did.
I would talk about Game of Thrones forever.
Well, we'll have better recording equipment next week. Maybe we can do a part 2.
Yeah. You mean it?
You mean it.
Okay.
Mean it.
All right.
All right.
Fine.
Rada. All right.
I hope you enjoyed our rambles.
And if you didn't, fuck you.
You already know.
You already know how this goes.
know.
Haters, fuck you. Friends, fuck you. Just kidding.
Mom, love you. I got you, babe.
Thanks, babe.
I saved you.
All right. Well, we gonna hit up another episode of Game of Thrones.
Yerp.
Yurt.
Yerp.
Yurt.
Yurt.
Yurt. And
We
we out.